So Lou, how did you happen to come to Laguna Woods?
Well, my folks moved here in 1982, and the bridge club at that time was under Clubhouse 4, under the swimming pool.
I've heard about that.
It became a problem. And in 1992, after my folks passed away, I moved into their place. I've been playing duplicate bridge for 62 years, and I started with the original 4-card Major Gorin system. And I am competitive. Most people who play bridge are competitive. There are different ranks and different levels that players try to achieve. Our room here we have about 600 members. We have about 200 or so that appear every day and play. We have games afternoon and some evenings and on Sunday. And duplicate bridge is a game that is competitive. You and your partner are trying to do better than everybody else in the room. We have players here, we have classes for people who just begin and want to learn how to play, to one of the players that comes into this room who's not a resident but lives locally, who has the greatest number of master points in the United States for his age, 50,000 master points. And the average player, I've got over about 3,000.
I have 340.
Most players try to achieve what they call becoming a life master, which is a certain requirement in points. You play in local tournaments, and to get higher ratings, you have to play in tournaments they have all over the United States. This club was helped institute something that's called the longest day, which because of what we started here, the entire United States and North America, 1 or 2 days a year, all the donations from all the proceeds from the clubs is given to the Alzheimer's groups. And
that was Herb Schwartz, wasn't it?
That was Herb Schwartz, Gail Schneider, and I happen to be the third person who started that.
And you worked with the legislature, is that not correct?
No, Herb worked with the legislature with that. But we actually started something. We invited UCI Mind to come down and give a lecture for 300 people. It caught on. Herb contacted American Contract Bridge League, and now the whole North America takes part in it, doing a lot. The doctors have mentioned that bridge is one of the mind games that helps you. You can't stop the dementia, which is Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, etc., but it helps offset it by playing this game and other type of games that utilize memory.
One of the things about bridge that I totally enjoy is that it's so social. So I can be playing against Lou, but not really, because Lou is a mentor as opposed to an opponent. But I can be playing against an opponent and do my very best to try to clobber them. And then you go out for drinks, and it's a good, get your competitive needs taken care of, but it doesn't ruin friendships.
It is very competitive, and at a club like this, you have the ability to play against players of your own level, higher level, and as I say, people really, it's a dog eat dog while you're playing, and then, as she mentioned, we go out, have dinner or whatever, often discuss hands. Bridge players also have a habit, only the thing they like to talk about is bridge at times. But we have people here in the club. One of the players, as an example, Dick Leach, was world's champion in doubles in tennis, number 5 in the United States in tennis. And we have people here with all types of backgrounds. So it's really a diverse group.
It's actually interesting. I come from a restaurant background where numbers is a part of it, but it's mostly an aesthetic, frenetic world. But a good number of our players were physicists and accountants and math teachers and teachers of all sorts. And they do better than I do. But that doesn't keep me from loving it.
Since everybody plays the same cards, there's no luck to it. In regular bridge at home, you'd shuffle, deal, play, and if you don't get any cards, you're just stuck. Here, no matter what you have as a player, everybody else will play exactly the same cards and do better or worse.
They like to think it's skill, but let me tell you, there are days when the cards sing to you. Is that not correct?
Yeah.
This is Raquel Unger, and Raquel is a friend of mine. And I play with her for fun and sometimes for profit, but mostly because we are trying really hard to get on this board. This is, if there is an honor roll, this is the bridge honor roll. And Raquel has gold points, which she won't let me have. They're the most coveted points in the bridge world. She has
about 15, 16.
I have about 5. Gold points are, I guess, like diamond rings in the bridge world, and I don't have enough.
She would really prefer emerald.
No, so anyway, I am a NABC master, which as you can see is 200 points. And then Life Master is the goal that most people here are going for. And then you have people who have so many points, like Lou pointed out, the Market Abachi, who Lou was referring to, has 60,000 points, and he's considered one of the top 2 players in the United States. But
he's also a professional.
Well, he's a professional, and that's something that the bridge world has that I don't know that other sports in Laguna Woods have.
Yes, the golf must have, golf pros are the same.
But we actually have people who make money playing bridge.
Like how much money can you make?
Millions.
Is that true?
Yes, but most of the time they make 100,000 a game or something like that.
Well, it's like the poker.
It's like poker, only we prefer we prefer to think of it as much more intellectual than poker.
Oh.
This is a game of snobs. No, don't. You'll
Yeah, I
edit
think
that
that's
out.
funny. Would you agree?
Egos.
Egos more than snobs.
Snobs.
She's more correct than I. But your parents used to play bridge.
But they played kitchen bridge. Or
Bridge.
Party bridge, which basically you played in the kitchen with another couple, and they didn't have bidding boxes, and they didn't have boards. They did shuffle, deal, and play, and they argued over who could wear the readers, because they all shared readers. They didn't.
Readers meaning glasses?
Yeah, like glasses. That's what I remember about the bridge games at my house. My mother would say, "Give me the readers." My father would say, "No, I need them."
How fun.
Yeah, so it was a totally different element, environment, and venue than we're lucky to have here. Well, I shouldn't say than we're lucky to have here. It was just very different, starting out that way. And now we have basically a professional room where we play bridge and duplicate bridge where we have bidding boxes. We have bridge mates that keep scores for us on each game, and they go to the central computer. And the central computer then talks to another computer in Florida. And when we finish, we get on our phones the scores and the games of what we've done that day.
And how we compete nationally. So, for instance, one day Raquel played a hand especially well, which isn't unusual in itself. But she played.
She's a friend. Oh, help me.
No, but you played the game so well that you got an email of congratulations.
Right.
She was one of 2 people in the United States who played the hand the way the experts thought was extremely well. So she got a congratulatory email for being number 2 in the United States to have played this hand really well. So it's in terms of Laguna Woods, I think it's called the common game. So we play bridge. We're part of the ACBL, and then we're part of a group called the Common Game. And
ACBL is what?
American Contract Bridge League. But we compete against hundreds of clubs in the United States. We play the exact same hands across the country. So you have the potential that you could be number 1 in the country on board number 17. And it's a nice competition. It's a fabulous competition. And because we're in this room with this computer and this setup, we can take part in that game, which is really fabulous for us because, as you see, there are people here who play the game for fun, and there are people here who are really exceptional players, and then there are people here like Raquel who you have some fundamental understanding, correct?
Right.
So she says she sees the hands. Is that
Right. Well, I see the hands, I can count the points and figure out on a basis of when I'm thinking about it of who has what, and which is an important part of the game. It's about thinking bridge and counting points.
Yeah, it's almost like cheating. It's like
Like card counting in 21?
something like that. But I was thinking about my father used to like it when I played with him. We didn't play bridge, he played poker. If I would wear dark glasses, he could see the reflection of the cards in my hand.
Oh. So what's your long-term goal since you can play here and then you're connected around the world? What are you trying to accomplish now?
Well, you're always trying to accomplish better in your game. This is a game of improvement, like life. You try to get better through it. In bridge, you try to get better through bridge. In your game, basically you start out, like one section over here could be people who could be playing for 2 months. And then you have people in the room, like Joanne has just said, who've been playing for 60, 70, 80 years. I met one man when I started to play in the towers, and this was totally amazing. And he said, how long have you been playing? I was with Margaret Klein that night. And I said, oh, just a few months. And he says, oh, I've read more books about bridge than you are old. And he was right. I said, how many books? And he said, I've read about 85 books. And I went, wow, you're right. And so there's always something more. So my objective in the game is to have a great time, meet interesting people, make a few good friends, and improve my game.
Rose is a big volunteer at the club. She does a lot of very good things for the club, and with 600 members, things don't just happen. Although we have certain paid positions, most of the everyday stuff is done by a group of volunteers. And Rose, you are the coffee queen?
I'm the coffee queen.
She's the coffee queen of the Bridge Club. And I should show you the urns, but they're large enough to bathe a small dog in. So there's a lot of coffee that gets drunk here every day. And how long have you been playing?
I've been playing since '06.
So do the math for us, honey.
10 years, right?
Right? And how did you learn?
I learned from George Tilson, who is an excellent bridge player. And he rescued me after my husband passed. And he said, you need an activity. And he found me an activity, and I am eternally grateful for it.
And you're a nice addition to the club.
Of course.
Yeah, no, you are. You're another nice player. And how many people do you play with on a regular basis?
Well, my partner that I started with moved to Texas, so I've had a slight upheaval in my partnerships. But I've just started playing with Millie Torres, and I'm excited about that. And I play with Donna Kruger, who has just turned 89. And she has taught me a lot about the game.
Young lady,
Young
huh?
lady. Yeah.
Young lady.
Beautiful young lady.
A beautiful young lady. I want to know how long you've been playing the game.
Here?
No.
I've been playing the game actually since I was 12 years old. I'll be 92 in 2 months. So I've been playing it about 80 years.
And
how well, I don't know.
This gentleman came to my attention because he was looking for an insurance broker, and he developed a second career because his insurance broker fell so in love with him that she used, and I think she still uses him to do her commercials.
Yeah.
So what, at 90 you became a performer?
Actually, I was only 89.
He was only 89. He
Yes.
became
Was a performer, didn't have to join SAG, and it was a lot of fun.
But you're a good player. You're a nice player.
Thank you. Coming from you, that's a great compliment. Because
Thank
you're
you.
a nice player, too.
Thank you. And a nice player is someone who knows
Someone
the
who don't
game,
fight with his partner.
doesn't fight with his partner, is generous,
Yes,
and,
I'm very
and
generous.
wins a lot.
Yes.
So this is Sybil Barzilay, who is the Grand Dame of Laguna Woods Bridge. Is that a fair explanation?
Well, it's a very flattering one,
No,
and
but
I
it's
accept
true.
it.
So Sybil is, among other things, an excellent bridge player,
I do, thank you.
a fabulous teacher, And you won an award from the ACBL for a Teacher of the Year.
I did not, but that was nice. I had many commendations from ACBL because I enrolled more people in 1 year than anybody ever had. Yes.
So, Sybil, you were a game director?
I was a game director. I was a club manager. I was also the president. And I was a jack of all trades and treasurer. Okay. Other than that, I play bridge.
We've been asking people how many master points they have.
I have 5,100. Okay.
She's good. And
That was my ambition because I turned 90 this year, but I became a Diamond Life Master, which there are very few of in this club. Okay.
So
You want to be a Diamond Life Master?
only
like
if
to
I
be
live to
live
150. Sybil,
All
how
right.
long were you playing? Have you been playing bridge?
Probably 50 years at least.
So,
Yes.
someone like me, how do I get 50,000 points or 5,000?
Perseverance all the time. Make it a lifetime study, that's all.
Well, one of the things that is happening in ACBL is you don't do this, but if I wanted, I am permitted to hire Sybil to carry me over the hump. You could be my Sherpa.
I can be her mentor. However, one of the things I'm very proud of is I never paid anybody to play with them, and I've never charged anybody to play with me.
And she's
And
another.
that is something
yes.
that I would never do.
Well, you're one of the when I talk about the generosity of the better players, Sybil has been extremely generous, and she has even invited me to play with her. How long have you been playing bridge?
I learned how to play bridge in the 8th grade, shortly after the invention of fire.
Did you really learn in the 8th grade?
Yes, I did.
And
My mother and father had a good friend who was a great bridge player, and so we would get all of my junior high friends over to our house, and she taught us all how to play bridge.
did you play in high school and college?
I don't remember playing much in high school, but college all the time. There was always at least one game going in the sorority house and another one at the student union, and you just dropped in whenever you could and dropped out when you had to. Oklahoma State University. Go Cowboys.
Are you an Okie?
I'm from Oklahoma.
Oh, that's good. Anne plays with one of the, do I call them an heirs of the bridge hierarchy?
Bridge royalty.
Bridge royalty. And
Niece-in-law.
Niece-in-law of,
Alfred Scheinwald.
and Alfred Scheinwald is one of in the pantheon of bridge gods, he's up on the first level.
He's on the first level, I guess. I don't know that much.
Oh, he's pretty important. And
I do know that he apparently headed the American team for a long time and wrote a very popular syndicated column about bridge. And he was a native of England, and during World War II he went back to England to work at Bletchley Park on breaking the Nazi code.
did he?
Yes.
Oh. Well,
So you should be interviewing Marcy, actually, but
no, but you're much more fun because you're a therapist.
that is true.
So she may be one of the few non-math people who gets great pleasure out of this game.
I am numerically challenged. You know, I enjoy bridge. I swore I would never play duplicate, and here I am the last 3 or 4 years doing just that. It gets me out of the house, it gets me around nice people, and like the rest of us here, I am trying to keep what's left of my brain going. So I understand it's a game, and I enjoy it, and if it stops being fun, I'll stop.
This lady is Maria Glasgow, and I know Maria, who is an alien from
Irvine.
She lives in Irvine, and
play here. And I play here about 5-6 times a week. I like this club.
And why do you play bridge?
I love bridge. learned bridge in 1956, but I only played socially, not duplicate, and only a few times a year, social bridge. And in the past 4 or 5 years, I started learning duplicate bridge.
What brought you here? What brought you to bridge?
What brought you to the duplicate or the regular bridge?
What duplicate?
To the duplicate because when I retired from work, I started playing more bridge, but everybody was playing in duplicate bridge clubs, and I didn't really know the duplicate rules, so that's when I started taking lessons and joined the ACBL.
And you're a really good player. She's a very good player.
I would not say that, but
I would.
yeah,
You're a really good
try.
player.
I try to.
And you think bridge.
I have been playing for many, many years, but
How long?
only since 1956.
Okay.
So that's about 60 years, right? 60. That's
Wow.
40,
Getting
50.
close.
That's about 60 years, but only a few times a year, socially at that time.
Did you learn in the States or did you learn?
No, back in Hungary. I learned back in Hungary.
So the rules are pretty much the same.
It is the same. It's international rules, but social bridge, what we learned back then, is very different, and the scoring is very different from the duplicate bridge.
And how was the transition?
It's a little difficult, but you just have to learn the rules.
You've been playing bridge for how long?
I've been playing bridge probably for 30 years.
30 years?
Yeah.
Girl, you started at 5.
But I did. I started out playing party bridge and ended up playing duplicate, and I would never go back to party bridge.
Because?
Because this is a lot more challenging.
That's what everyone talks about is the challenge.
It's the challenge and the people. The people at Laguna Woods are wonderful to play against and with. It's just an enjoyable place to play. I love it down here.
But you became a game director too.
Oh, I work 2 days a week as game director down here. I enjoy every minute of it. I love the people. Most of them are extremely nice. It's just a great place to play.
But you have a temper.
I do have a temper.
So it's really good when the game director gets her temper going and you get quiet all of a sudden. Fight with Jeannie because she's in charge and she could throw you out.
What's that like?
It's zero tolerance, and I tell them that. We have a zero tolerance club, and I won't tolerate anything that's not pleasant for everyone around them.
How long have you been playing?
About 50 years.
50 years?
Yes.
Wow. And how many points do you have?
I have 4,300 points.
That's a lot, right?
Yeah. I just told you I have 340.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Wow.
And do you have a lot of regular partners?
Yes, I do.
How often do you play?
A lot of different partners, about 4 times a week.
And do you play the same game or do you have to adjust your game?
Different cards for different partners.
We come from all around the world, it's pretty much. And as you heard, Maria comes from Hungary, and we have people from China and people from India playing here. And you learn not the different game, but you learn what we call different conventions, and you have a different style. And if I want to be a successful partner of Bill's, I have to know Bill's style. If you want to have a rich tapestry of people you play with, you're not going to limit yourself to one color only.
Learn all the different conventions and styles, and it not only helps you play, but it helps you to defend against people who have those style of games. Yeah.
That's a really good point.
My own style is a little aggressive. I'm an aggressive player. Play 2 over 1, which is a standard for most of the people in this club. And it's pretty much. I play a preemptive game if I can to disrupt the opposition.
we've been told that we need to get some under 90-year-old people who play bridge, and
here we are, under 90.
Under 90.
And would you introduce yourself?
I'm Judy Saxon, and I'm a bridge player.
And I'm Marilyn Walsh, and I'm actually the treasurer of this club and have been for 3 years. And love playing bridge, love this club, love the community. And I think bridge is probably one of the most important things since I've retired that has contributed to my mind.
And Judy, you have a lot more varied interests.
I do. I'm a writer, and I used to play tennis and pickle and paddleball. And driving up here, I saw all these cars, and I think, look at all the people that play bridge here. Anyway, I'm an enthusiastic member, but yes, there's so many things to do, and I just started tango lessons a few weeks ago.
Wonderful.
Well, you don't talk about, Judy also helps produce a significant show.
Yes, I co-host a show with Charlie Redner called The Right Now Show, and we interview people in the arts, a lot of authors, a lot of talent in this community, and we interview some people that are off the reservation too.
So one of the things that I like about bridge is it's a 3 or 4 hour commitment, sort of in the afternoon. So when you are busy in the morning and busy in the evening, you can always squeeze in a game of bridge, and it's obviously from the people you've met, there's some fabulously interesting people.
Yes.
Thank you. And I love the socialization too, just coming here and talking to people and seeing what's going on in their lives.
Actually, to me, that's a good point, because I know that you live in Third.
Yes.
You live in United. A lot of the people we spoke with are living in the towers, and it expands our community for us.
It really does.
You know about things that are happening in the different worlds.
It's also a surprise to play here and find so many men.
Yes.
In a female-dominated community. I mean, there's all kinds of interesting people, but there is a surprising number of male players.
It's just about time for the game to start. As you'll see, pretty much everyone is seated at their tables, north, south, east, west, with their partners. They're not yet handing out the boards, and when the boards get handed out, the director will say it's time to play, and the play commences. And people now pretty much understand when to move and when to sit. But the open players play 24 boards and 6.5 minutes a board with 2 breaks. The intermediate players play 22 boards with 7 minutes a board and 2 breaks. So they both get out in about 3.5 to 4 hours, depending on how the day is going. For me, it's wonderful to see how the age groups mix, and the number of non-residents who are here and the number of residents who are here, and also that people who are physically debilitated are not hindered from enjoying a really challenging and fun part of their lives. And it's important to us that we enjoy them and what they have to offer.